Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another great video with the hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy for the Hockey Nation Live Show. Today, I'm going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. I want to talk about their prospect, where they are going so far since the beginning of the season. Of course, I cannot talk with all of them, but some of them I'm going to talk to you are play right now in the World Junior Championship. And if some of them play on the CHL, or it could be on WHL or OHL or QM, then I'm going to briefly talking about the players play in the NCAA. So don't go nowhere. I'm going to give you all what you need to know about the prospect for the Montreal Canadiens, your Bleu, Blanc, Rouge. But before we start, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, subscribe, likes the video, and finally, tell us what you think about the Montreal Canadiens prospect so far. So thanks to join us today. And of course, I want to remind you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and of course, Happy New Year. We are December 27, 2021. So let's dive in talking about the Montreal Canadiens and their prospect. So for this video, guys, I'm going to be behind the graphics because the graphics are big. I'm going to hiding maybe picture or maybe hide some words. So I prefer to be behind the video at that moment. So the first player I want to talk about this is the captain of the Team Canada this year for the WJC 2022, KAIDEN GUHLE. KAIDEN just got traded from the Prince Albert to the Edmonton Oilers Kings a couple of weeks ago, and now he played with them for the 16th overall pick by the defenseman Montreal Canadiens. Now in 20 games, he has 3 goals, 15 assists, 18 points. The time I record this video, guys, we saw the first game, Team Canada, and you already see the big 6'2" and how he's involved with the physicality. Body check is always there. His cap control is really good also for KAIDEN. And for me, that's what I'm looking for him, is how he play on the defensive side. Great stick, always at the great position, a great square in front of the battle, 1 versus 1. And he's really good on win the battle. And at that moment for the Team Canada is a great asset as a defenseman, but also this year in the WHL play, and he have a great year so far. Like I mentioned, 18 points, 20 games. But again, it's not always on the offensive side we have to be concerned about him. It's more about his defensive side, and so far he's doing well. During his first game also, again, the skid share, you see also on the offensive side, the way he skate and control the puck on the offensive. So great year so far for KAIDEN GUHLE. Let's move on to the next player I want to talk about. Is the captain for the Scotia I'm talking about Mizak. Compared to KAIDEN, I did not see him a lot yesterday against the Team Canada, but so far the 48th overall pick center from the Hamilton Bulldogs, he has a 31 point and 25 games, 17 goals, 14 assists. He have a slump at some point, but he came back now. We have a good month of December and November. He have the only thing I would say to you, what you need to improve is his skating. He need to have a little bit more speed, and that's something he need to learn for the next couple of years for the Montreal Canadiens. What do you see him, coach? Really a third center in NHL, third line, maybe 4. And can he make the second? It will all depend on his skating. On the flip side, great stick angling, great vision, great sense of IQ, and a good sense of offensive side. Need to improve his defensive side, win a little bit more his battle, and maybe a little bit more physical, like grow his muscle, everything like that. But overall, Yan, I think for the next 2 years, after he finishes complete his career in OHL, I think he's going to be with the Laval Rocket, where he played last season. I have only 3 points. But again, I think Ian is going to have a good year for the second part of the season with Hamilton Bulldogs, and we'll see how he's going to develop. The third player I want to talk about today is Riley Kidney. Riley, he was draft 63 overall pick by the Montreal Canadiens last year. He's a 5'11", 168 pounds. That's something you need to get a little bit more bigger, maybe more muscle. But again, 41 point, guys, and 29 game. A great year so far. 17 goals and 24 assists. Good year. And again, that Montreal expect a lot from him for the next couple of years. Riley is going to be interesting how he's going to complete the season. Acadie is so this year in QM. But again, Kidney is doing well. The next player I want to talk about is Joshua Roy. 47-point guy in 27 game. Joshua is an underdog. He's underrated. He's a 150 overall pick. Center, 6 foot, 180 pounds. The last 18 months, Roy came from nowhere. Nobody gave him a chance. He got caught a couple of years ago from Team Canada. But again, as a kid grow and get better. Every single day, you can see Joshua where he came for 2 years ago. Now who is he today? It's a completely another player transformed. His work ethic is getting more every single day. His consistency to play. Joshua Roy could be a great asset at some point for the Montreal Canadiens. Again, I don't see him right away, but Roy could be a player can be a part of the Montreal Canadiens in the next couple of years. The next player I want to talk about is XAVIER SIMONEAU. He got hurt a couple of weeks ago. They gave him a couple, maybe 3-4 weeks. But after 13 days, he was back in the lineup for the Charlottetown, where they have one of the best teams right now in the QM. You have 46-point guy and 27 game. He's only 5'7", 180 pounds. So a lot of people, the scout expert in hockey say never going to make it. But again, he's fighting against everybody. He keeps consistent to produce. 191 overall pick. This is where maybe nobody expect him, but SIMONEAU is going to fight all the way. Now, I expect him to be at least with a Laval Rocket next season. Another great addition for them. This is a bit more a longer project for the Montreal Canadiens, but we'll see how XAVIER is going to develop. But again, he played with a great team right now, the Charlestown and the QM. And talking about that team, what about that defenseman? Play the same team. William Trudeau, another one with nobody expect him. A 6 foot, 191 pounds, 113 overall pick. Trudeau, it's another one, never been known by the scout, but he keep consistent working hard and prove to the scout and everybody is a good defenseman. Now 6 goals this year, not too bad. 31 game, 25 points. He's a guy can hit. He's a guy play well on the defensive side. He was never been recognized on offensive, but this year he bring a couple of points in the game, so we have to give him credit. So it will be William another. See how he's going to finish the year. That team could make the Memorial Cup at some point. That team is pretty good so far. The next one I want to talk about, guys, is the man, the Superman, Aber Mizak. Nobody expect him. Never been drafted in midget AAA. Never been drafted in the OHL. And year after year, for the last 4 years, guys, he came from nowhere. And look what he's doing now. He was never been drafted in NHL. Undrafted. Montreal gave him a contract a couple of months ago. He had 15 points, 17 game, 6'4", 225. He can shoot the puck, he can slap shot the puck, and he can fight, he can play physical. This could be really interesting to follow his career after this year. He needs to improve, of course, his skating, cap control. But again, this guy never been always underrated. And I think Aber can create some surprise for the upcoming training camp for the Montreal. We'll see how he's going to develop the second part of the season for Aber. Then finally, I want to mention a couple of players. Luke Talk with the Boston College. He struggled this year, guys, to be honest with you. The 47 overall pick, we expect more from him. He have only 9 games this year, 0 point. But he need to find back where he's supposed to be. It will be interesting about him. What about Jordan Harris? Harris, guys, 71 overall pick. This is a complete, this last season in the NCAA, the captain of Northeastern, have 11 points in 18 games. Will be interesting. Did not sign yet with the Montreal. You have until August 1st to sign back with them. That's the one we have to follow up the story about him. Jaden Struble. Struble him, guys. He have only 11 points this year. It's a one he has to be a little bit more offensive side. He have not a bad year, but I think he can do better. With Northwestern is a pairing defense with Jordan. But again, I think Jaden can play better. Now, we know what's going on with Matthews Norlander. Come back now with Finlanda. He was supposed to go the Spengler Cup with Sweden, but he can cancel. William Anderson follow him for the second part of the season with Finlanda, where they have a good team over there in Sweden. And then come back next year with Montreal Canadiens. Finally, we have two more. Sean Farrell. Farrell had a great year with USHL last season. Now play with Harvard University. Farrell, and he has right now, he was a 124 overall pick. Not too bad since he played with the Harvard. I expect him good. He have a 14 point and 11 game with them. It's a one. My question for him is how he can relate after that from NCAA to the American Hockey League to NHL. Would be interesting how many years he's going to stay in Harvard. But right now, he's going to complete his second part of the season over there. Then, can he stay one more year or move up with the Montreal Canadiens? That's what we need to figure out. And then, Gianni Fairbrother, guys. Fairbrother is right now with the Laval Rocket. Not a bad years. I expect him to join, to have a good year at Laval for the second part. He's going to fight for the job for the upcoming year with the Montreal Canadiens in 22-23. So we'll follow up about this. Montreal have a lot of expectation from him. So Jenny will be interesting about him. We know how he plays physical also on his own. He's going to be find a job next year with KAIDEN, GUHLE, and Norlander for sure. Guys, I want to give you a little bit more about what's going on with that Montreal Canadiens prospect for the end of the year and what you have to do for the upcoming second part of the season at 21-22. So it'll be interesting to follow up that. On the flip side, Montreal Canadiens, what's going on? But, they are back on the ice this week. They have a couple of away game. They're going to be in Tampa. COVID-19 is a problem for them also. And then, of course, the injuries continue to accumulate day after day. It's crazy. The lineup right now is half NHL player and half American Hockey League. But I like what I see for the players we did called up, like Bolin, like Romanov now play with them full time. Now they have Elonen joined them after that. And Pizzara is still with the team over there. Dauphin joined the team. So we have a couple of players we need to follow up for the next second part of the Montreal Canadiens and see. At the same time, let's watching the prospect player for the NHL draft. Montreal, I expect them to be at the top 5 draft pick next season. So it'll be interesting. Try to learn about the prospect of the World Junior Championship. Right now, some of them are going to be at the top 5. Maybe it start for you to learning about them and see what they look like. So, guys, that's conclude another video of the Hockey Nation Live Show from the hockey coach, Coach FRENCHY, about the Montreal Canadiens. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to subscribe. Click on the like and tell us what you think about the prospect Montreal Canadiens. And finally, I wish you an amazing, blessing day, everybody. I look forward for the next video with Coach for the Hockey Nation Live Show. Mes amis, ceci complète un autre vidéo à propos des Canadiens de Montréal avec leurs joueurs prospects. Mais avant de vous quitter, je vous demande, n'oubliez pas de vous abonner. Si vous avez bien aimé la vidéo, cliquez sur le petit pouce en haut et finalement, dites-moi ce que vous pensez des joueurs prospects pour les Bleus, Blancs, Rouges. Et je vous souhaite une très belle journée et je vous attends de vous revoir pour une autre vidéo avec l'entraîneur Coach FRENCHY pour le Hockey Nation Live Show.